So a lot of people liked my best thing in League of Legends video, and so due to that popularity, I'm gonna be doing a video on the worst things in League of Legends. And this time I'm gonna be doing it in a PowerPoint presentation, at least for this video, because I want to test out a style that adds a bit of personality in it, and I figured it'll be kind of funny, you know. But before we begin, I want to first say, thank you for actually doubling my subscriber count, kind of doubling it from 100 to 200. It went by so fast between two videos that, I didn't have time to process a lot of it, but sincerely, thank you. It means a lot, and I hope you're in for the ride. Alright, back to the video. Alright, let's go into some introductions. I'm gonna say outright what they are, and it's the Honor System, Seraphine, and Eternals. Now, you might be a little bit confused as to why things are the way they appear to be in this. Don't worry, things will be much clearer once I start explaining them. First off, we're gonna talk about the honor system. I know some of you might have forgotten what the honor system actually does. Before that, let's take a quick history on what the honor system used to do. Now, this honor system is something that only the veteran players remember, and the honor system used to be something very simple, not that notable. It's kind of a unnoticeable feature, I think. It's pretty cool when you get notified about this, but it's not something that really intrigues a lot of people, in my opinion. The way the honor system works is that every League of Legends account has a counter. It has a counter for honors, and it has about 4 different honor categories, as you can see over here. I think this is about great teammate. This is one of them is like great mentorship. One of them is a great leader, and another one is a great honorable opponent, I should say. And yeah, you used to be able to honor your opponents, your enemies. Basically, what happens when you get honored is that your account has the counter for each one of these honors. And let's say you get honored as an honorable opponent. So your honorable opponent counter goes from 0 to 1 and it gets added for every honor you get from the enemy. And the same thing happens for every other type of honor, but the difference is that you have to get them from your teammates. Once your counter gets like up to 200 or somewhere along those numbers, you will get like a loading screen badge. And that's about it. On 2017, Riot reworked the honor system to reward players for playing well and, have a little bit more rewards for players who put in the time to be good teammates or honorable opponents as well. Yeah, that's something I didn't mention in the old honor system, is that you can actually have the ability to honor everyone in your game, or at least your whole team. I think there's a limit to how many honors you can give out on a certain time interval, but with the new honor system, you can now only honor one person per game, and your honor progress it stops being a counter, and it's now a level. There's a level from 0. I think 0 is like really bad if you get reported a lot. There's levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you get honored by strangers, you can have higher progress than if you were to be honored by your friends over and over again. And once you hit level 5, you get some tokens that you can spend to obtain Medieval Twitch and Grey Warwick. And once you get those 2 skins, you can spend those tokens to get these chromas. More chromas are added every year, every end of season. And that's it. Those are all the prizes you can get. And that's what I really don't like about the honor system. It's been this way for nearly 5 years. Look at this. In their game, honor was first introduced in October 2012. It was reworked on patch 7.13, which was June 28th, 2017. It's a couple months away from being 5 years old, and the only prizes we have for being like the utmost honorable position you have according to the system are these 2 skins and these 6 chromas. I know you get these capsules for every now and then when you're at a good honor level that gives you key fragments, gives you other goodies that I honest to God, I actually forgot what they give. But I think this honor system has been extremely forgotten. It's kind of failed on what they originally set out to do, and a lot of people, don't take it as seriously anymore. Because when it was first announced, when it was first reworked, I was honestly pretty excited to what it can do, and a couple of years into its release, and I'm not feeling it. And some people have been asking Riot, like, will they bring back the ability to honor enemy players anytime soon when, the honor system was just reworked? And this was Riot's answer. They basically say that they do sort of want to give you an option or a way to respect your opponents, but they won't bring back what it was before because it has been abused a couple times before. But enough talking about honor, let's move on to the next item on the list, and that is Seraphine. Now, if you've watched a couple of my videos before this one, you can probably identify that I don't like Seraphine. Not in the sense that I think she's a bad champion or a weak champion. She's definitely at some point obnoxious to play. I really hate facing that ultimate. It's pretty annoying to deal with. But I'm just gonna talk about the whole situation surrounding her lore, her KDA release, and whatever. So I want to show you guys something. This is one of Seraphine's original concept design. She's very Piltover looking, steampunk. She fits in the world, right? But to me, Seraphine is one of the exceptions to Riot's rule of making champions. And what is Riot's rule of making champions? Basically, they think of the concept of the champion's kit and abilities first before anything else, before the lore, before the character design, and what have you. But at least to me, looking at the history, KDA released on 2018 and it was very popular. It was a hit success, it was worldwide, and the same year Riot said they were gonna make more. And 2 years later, KDA Seraphine was released and her classic skin looks like a skin for her KDA personality. I don't know, KDA came before the kit, in my opinion. It just feels like it, and I don't know, I feel like she isn't very innovative, or she doesn't have much going for her in terms of her in-game kit, in-game abilities. It's not that remarkable other than, her ultimate ability. Yeah, these are her abilities. Can you guess what those are? Yes, it's Nico Q, Sona W mixed with E, Nico E, and a Sona R if it acts like Ezreal R. When you look at the champions released before Seraphine, you had Aphelios with a 200 years meme, you had Senna, you had Set, and before that you had many champions where when you talk about them, you more often than not talk about their kit just as much as you would talk about their design or whatever. But when you talk about Seraphine, I very rarely hear people talk about her gameplay kit nearly as much as they talk about her design or her KDA things. I don't know. This is why I put her on the list. Now the final thing on this video that I'm going to be talking about is Eternals. And I feel like this is the one thing that a lot of people have agreed on is just, it could have been, I think the concept could have been good. So let me just start off by showing these three things. These are all stat trackers in different games. There is a market for stat tracking, and it's a little nice way to flex and show off your records, your achievements, and milestones. And I think it'll be pretty cool to have in League as well, like especially when there are very many champions, very many kits, and interactions between them. It could be nice to track some of the unique mechanics that you have pulled off, and yeah, that's the idea of Eternals. Now the main problem is they put it on a paywall. It's not the first time that stat trackers have been put behind a paywall. My original example on CSGO itself is already on a paywall, but I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying it's a good way to promote and offer stat trackers to your players who have dedicated champions that they like to play. The initial reactions to Eternals owners, especially when, it's just released, is you paid real money just to flex. Some of the milestones are worthless and there is no prize for completing them. I will start with the last point. This is something that Necrit has talked about before when he was ranting about Eternals, is that other than stat tracking, it does nothing. He proposed an idea of what if we get a reward after reaching the highest milestone possible? They could have done that, especially when you paid $10. Giving us a Hextech chest for reaching the highest milestone of a champion wouldn't be too bad, right? Like, they're not losing much. We can still get champion shards from Hextech chests. They're not losing anything by rewarding us a Hextech chest after completing all the milestones. And talking about the second point, I want to go back to that Sivir slide. You can read multiple allied champions hasted on with On the Hunt. And if you've played Sivir before, you can clearly tell that this is really not a hard thing to do at all. And even though Sivir is a relatively easy champion, I make memes with my friends a lot of times talking about pulling off my insane Sivir mechanics by doing auto attack W. There are still some mechanics that I think could show your skill a lot better than just boosting your allies' movement speed. And Sivir is not the only champion to have this kind of weird situation where the Eternal really doesn't showcase your skill on them. Some other champions have these, and this is why, I feel like a lot of the things can be improved. And the last thing I want to talk about is that you have to pay to buy these Eternals. I actually have an idea of what could be an alternate way to earn Eternals. After a whole video of complaining about some of the worst things that I think are in the game, it wouldn't be too bad to at least share some ideas that I think could have been a better way to do it. This is an alternate way to unlock, in my opinion. You can use a contract system like Valorant Agents. The way that you unlock Valorant Agents, if you don't know yet, is that you activate a contract per agent. You can only have one active at a time, and you complete missions to gain EXP on the contract. The missions refresh every now and then, and when your XP is maxed, that one milestone is unlocked. Just like how when your XP is maxed for one contract, you get the agent basically. And that's just my idea of another way you can earn Eternals without paying. And I think it's a pretty nice way as well, because you have to complete missions specific to that champion, which means that you're gonna have to pull off some skillful plays or whatever. You have to earn it instead of buying it. And that concludes my presentation of some of the things that I consider the worst features in League of Legends. This is a little bit more of a scuffy kind of video. I mean, it's kind of on purpose. I sort of want to do this style to have a video where I freestyle a little bit to, add a bit of personality to the channel. I will probably go back to slightly more scripted style videos moving on. But let me know if you like this kind of videos every now and then. Also, let me know what you think are some of your most hated features in League of Legends. And to add a bit of positivity, I think we can all share a bit of positivity. Also, maybe share what you think can improve that system and make it something that you can like instead. So that was it. If you liked the video, hit like, and if you like the channel, hit subscribe, and I'm done. I'll see you guys in the next video, and video's over. Goodbye.
Faded.
My husband!